Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. Today I'm going to be looking at the Dark Ascension intro pack. This is the red-green Monstrous surprise pack. So this is the one that has Undying, which basically one of the reasons that I bought it. I tend to focus on, when I buy intro packs, ones that have brought sort of new mechanisms into the game. And this is one such pack. So let's have an open up, look at what sort of cards you get if you get this. These decks aren't really designed to be competitive, but they are designed to show off various features in the set. And like I said, I particularly like the ones that show off the sort of new mechanisms. So let's see what we have. As always with these, you also get a booster, which we'll open up in a moment. So let's get this pack open up. So in it you've got one of the cards, which is Flare of the Hatebound, is foiled. That's obviously a standard feature within these intro packs. Nicely in focus. Okay, so again you get a how to play and another insert that basically just explains the 5 decks, or the 5 packs that they have in this particular set. So let's just go through this. So this Flare of the Hatebound is a rare. It's Creature Devil 5 and a red for a 4/2. It has Undying on it. So seeing as it's the first card with Undying, we just look at this mechanism. So what it's got here, Undying. When this creature dies, if it had no +1/+1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. So the creature dies, and then it undies, and it comes back in with +1/+1 counters on it. Although if it already had counters on it, then it basically stays dead. So you can see with these sort of decks, it's not a good idea, or you wouldn't want to have any form of pumping in the deck that would introduce counters onto creatures because if they hadn't already died, then those counters would cause those creatures to basically not come back, not to undie. Has another ability: whenever Flare of the Hatebound or another creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard, that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. So obviously in a deck that uses Undying creatures, that is a real good synergistic ability to have. This is a red-green deck, so a good inclusion in this is a card like Overrun. So this is a pump spell sorcery that gives creatures you control +3/+3 and gives them trample until end of turn. So really good in an Undying deck because, like I say, it's pumping creatures without using counters, so there's no problems there. Gutter Grime. This is another rare. This is from Innistrad. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put a slime counter on Gutter Grime. Then put a green ooze creature token onto the battlefield with this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of slime counters on Gutter Grime. So in an Undying deck where you're looking to get your creatures killed, this again is a really good synergistic card. Wild Hunger. This gives target creature +3/+1 and trample until end of turn, and this has flashback on it. And there's 2 of those in the deck. Rolling Trembler, rolling Temblor is an uncommon from Innistrad. So this deals damage to each creature without flying. So obviously this is going to kill off any opponent's creatures, but if when you play this, you basically want to make sure that you have creatures out that have Undying which don't have any counters on them. And then that way they all die, they all come back with counters on them. So again, good inclusion in this deck. We've got a piece of equipment in here, Great Sword, obviously not one of the best pieces of equipment there is, but it's useful for equipping up with some of the flyers in this. Creatures that have evasion, so you can effectively, if your opponent's playing no flyers, then you can sort of fly over their other creatures and do damage. And this is sort of attached to a flyer, and there's one of those. As we're talking green here, we got some mana ramping. So we got Rampant Growth here, which lets us search our library for a basic land card and put that into the battlefield tapped. And there's 2 of those. You're normally fine with most Innistrad packs that feature green. There's normally a Naturalize in there often. This is green's way of dealing with artifacts or enchantments. We've got Fling. So we have to sack a creature to cast this. So what you're doing is effectively flinging a creature at the enemy. And you can deal it to either a target creature or player. So again, this works well with Undying creatures. So when you sack them, if they have no counters on them, they will come back. Prey Upon. So this is uses the fight mechanism. And there's 2 of those. And then we have the green mana base in this. So let's just flick through this. These are all from Innistrad, the artwork. And then here's our red mana. I think this is pretty much an equal distribution. I'll check in the pack at the end and just see what the balance is, but I think it's sort of equal stuff. There's no other mana fixing in this as far as I know. You got Rage Thrower, again another one of these cards where it exploits the fact that when a creature dies, which is a lot of the time you want to happen in an Undying deck, it deals 2 damage to target player, so another bit of synergy there with the Undying mechanism. When Pitchburn Devils dies, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. So though it's not an Undying creature, there is a bonus there when this dies. Nearheath Stalker, this is a 4/1 for a 5, so not very efficiently costed. It has Undying on it though. So this would probably be a good card to look at. There's 3 of these. If you're looking to substitute out other cards, there's probably better Undying creatures that you could put in the deck, and you could sort of beef up some of the better ones that are already in here, bring them up to 4 ofs, take that out maybe. Lumberknot, this has hexproof on it, so it can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls, and whenever a creature dies it gets +1/+1 through counters put on it, so again good synergy with the Undying mechanism. Skursdag Cultist. So for 1 red you can tap it, sacrifice a creature and deal 2 damage to a target creature or player. There's 2 of those. You got Russet Wolves, which is a straight 3/3 for 3 and a red. So that's it's got no Undying on it. Orchard Spirits is a 2/2 for 2 and a green. And it can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. So you've got some evasion there. Pieheart Wolf, 1/1 for 2 and a red. So when this attacks, each creature you control can't be blocked this turn except by 2 or more creatures, and it has Undying on it. Strangleroot Geist has Undying on it, a 2/1 for 2 green. Uncommon's got haste as well, and there's 2 of those in it. Another Undying creature, Young Wolf, 1/1 for 1, and there's 3 of those. There's a couple of Goblin Arsonists in the deck, so this is your 1-drop. You know, you can get in there, do some damage early on. It also, if it dies, you have it deal 1 damage to target creature or player. So you can see a reoccurring theme here. A lot of the creatures where they don't have Undying will have some other mechanism on them which causes direct damage when they die. So that's the basic deck. Let me just look at this and just see what the balance in this is. So Monstrous Surprise, which is the name of the deck. Yeah, it's 11. Oh no, it's 11 to 13. So it's 11 mountains and 13 forests. So it's 24 lands in total. Excellent. Let's have a look and see what do they recommend. Down the bottom here, they're just recommending stuff that you can put in. So they're saying Vorapede, which is green with Vigilance, Trample and Undying. Feed the Pack, which lets you sacrifice creatures to create a number of wolf tokens equal to that creature's toughness. So there's a couple of suggestions there. Also, the earlier bit, you know, basically tells you how to play the deck and how the different synergies in the deck work. So it looks like a fun deck to play around with if you want to sort of explore Undying without, you know, spending an awful lot of money building a deck. These are about, well, these can be anything between about $12 up to $15, $16, depending on where you buy them. Okay, so let's have a look and see what pulls we get in our nice booster. Okay, good. So we have a Falkenrath Torturer as our foil, going back to front here. Hinterland Scourge, which is Hinterland Hermit. And these 2. Okay, so a bit different today. Normally I go from commons the other way around. So let's have a look and see what our rare is. Okay, so we've got Vault of the Archangel, which we tap, add 1 to our mana pool. For a 2 and a white and black, you tap creatures you control, gain Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. And then we've got our uncommons: Galvany Ironright, Hollowhenge Spirit, and Deadly Allure. See if we can find anything useful for the deck. So now we move on to our commons. Bone to Ash, which is in blue. Somberwall Dryad. This has Forest Walk 2/2 for 1 and a green. It's in green, but there's not really any particular synergy in there that's going to be useful in our deck. Scorch the Fields. Destroy target land. Scorch the Fields, deal 1 damage to each human creature. So that's 4 and a red. Undying Evil. Shriekgeist. Silverclaw Griffin. Headless Scab. And a Faithless Looting, which is a red card, single red. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. It's got flashback 2 and a red. So nothing in here really that would particularly suit the deck. But I'm pretty pleased about pulling the rare land in here. Just go back to that one there. So that was our That was our rare Vault of the Archangel. And then we had a nice shiny foil, which was a Falkenrath Torturer. And then our flip card was Hinterland Hermit. Okay, thanks for watching.